5, 6, 7, 8.
Troubadour. It's time to talk about the town Troubadour.
The many town troubadours.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Gilmore to Say with Tara and Haley. I'm Tara. This is Haley. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Tara.
It's Town Troubadour Day. It's Town Troubadour
week.
Because we just had our interview with Grant-Lee Phillips, who, what an angel.
I love him so much.
He's so wonderful. We had such a great conversation with him on Tuesday. Well, we had a great conversation with him 2 months ago, but it aired on Tuesday.
Yeah. It was the last episode. So if you have not listened to that one, I highly recommend going back and hearing about his experience, how he got involved, his favorite parts, all of it, his whole experience, which was so much fun. He's such a nice guy. He's genuinely just a cool guy.
I just feel like at peace when I'm in his presence, when I'm having a conversation with him. I'm like, I feel at peace.
Yeah, like he'd be a good friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like a calming presence. And his new album is out, which like if you need a soundtrack for your Gilmore Girls fall, this one is perfect.
Yeah.
It's a town troubadour in your own life.
Yeah.
Grant-Lee Phillips is his name. And playing
and in the Hour of Dust
for you is his game.
Is his game. It's true.
Yeah.
In the Hour of Dust is his new album, and it came out last week. And actually, I think this week he's going to be here in New York when this episode airs. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, he's great. If you're interested in seeing him live, check out his tour dates because he will be on tour with his new album, and I'm sure playing some old faves as well.
Yeah,
it was just really great. But we wanted to do a tandem episode because the town troubadour, of course, is such an important fixture in the Gilmore Girls world that we thought it would be a disservice to his character to not talk about him in another episode, in a separate episode, which we knew was going to be a lot longer than if we had put it all in the same episode. I think it would have been quite a few hours long.
It would have been a lot. It was like, I didn't want him to feel like we had to relive every single moment that he was on screen in the way that we wanted to.
Yeah,
like
totally.
We've been wanting to talk about him like this extensively, but to be like, hey Grant, let's go scene by scene, song by song. I was like, that might be overwhelming. I want to hear more of his experience. And then the two of us with you, bestie, we can yap about it, the three of us.
Yeah.
We can't hear you yapping back, but we know you do. We know you do.
We know. Absolutely. Yeah. Before we get into the town troubadour of it all, we just want to remind you guys that we'll be in Ann Arbor in 2 weeks. We're so excited. I know.
Gosh, I got to order my outfits.
The 2-week countdown is here, and we're so excited to see you guys. Literally 2 weeks from today, we'll be in Ann Arbor together.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, okay. I will say, you did scare me. We are recording this a little bit in advance, obviously, but in 2 weeks from this episode airing is when we'll be there. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready.
No.
I'm so unprepared from the time that people are hearing this.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks. Okay. Yes.
We're recording this 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah. I was literally like, my newly order isn't going to come in time.
No, don't worry. It will come in time. We're recording this way in advance from Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks from this episode
from
airing,
right now,
we will be there, and oh god, it's going to be so much fun. I can't believe that it's going to be the 25th anniversary of Gilmore Girls. It's coming up so quickly, but
and I'm excited. There's like a birthday bash because Friday night is the birthday bash for a 25th birthday. Mm-hmm. Is this one I said previously the Gilmore Girls could rent a car?
Yes.
I was like, I got to stop making that joke. I have to. I can only make it once. Every time after that, it's just like, why are you repeating the same joke? It's not funny anymore.
It's having a quarter life crisis, if you will.
It is. I mean, that makes sense. If you met Marie Gilmore, she's the epitome of a little crisis sometimes. But I will probably repeat that joke if you're in Ann Arbor. So I hope you save it in your heart for that Friday night. But we'll have an event that's specifically Gilmore to Say on Saturday. Coffee. There will be coffee.
And coffee.
100%.
And hopefully Pop-Tarts.
If there's not Pop-Tarts, I'm riding. I'm boycotting my own event. No, there'll be Pop-Tarts. And then I'm most excited. No, I'm not most excited. I think I'm equally excited for everything. But we've been wanting to do Gilmore Girls trivia in person.
Oh, so bad.
I'm thrilled. But there's stuff in store all day long. Costume contests, daisies, little stations to do various things. Other shops in town, like Literati Bookstore involved. It's going to be a great time. The Information, links to tickets, etc. are in our show notes. So take a look and come hang out with us in Ann Arbor. The cutest town we've ever been to.
It's so cute. And it's so perfect in the fall.
I know. We even saw a troubadour the last time we were there.
We did. We did see a troubadour.
We were beside ourselves.
Yeah, it was great. We were like, Grant-Lee?
Is that you?
Is that you?
It was far from Grant-Lee, but
yeah,
a troubadour all the same.
Yeah, loved it. The other thing that we announced on Tuesday is our new era on Patreon. I am very excited about the Rewatch Club. I hope that you guys are too.
So excited.
Yeah, if you missed it, go back. Obviously, if you missed the whole interview with Grant-Lee Phillips, that's also very important too.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of that episode, we did talk about the Rewatch Club, which is our new Patreon experience, because we did wrap up the series, and we will be talking about A Year in the Life next week, now that we have wrapped it all up in a little bow. But what would fall be? What would Gilmore Girls fall be without a fall rewatch? So the Rewatch Club.
Nothing.
Honestly, nothing.
Zero.
So the Rewatch Club is going to be available very soon. I think we start in 2 weeks. Also the same time as our time in Ann Arbor. Yeah. Crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Big weekend. It's a big week because it's like we have the Rewatch Club starts will be in Ann Arbor for
it's the first day of fall Saturday. Earlier that week. It's really the first week of fall.
And then the next week we'll be doing our anniversary episode for the 25th anniversary, and then Taylor's new album comes out, which isn't Gilmore Girls related, but it's exciting. And then the 25th anniversary is that Sunday. So
which is crazy.
It's a big week.
It's a big
week to be a Gilmore Girls fan.
It is, yeah. So, speaking of, do you want to show everybody
your
nails?
Oh my gosh, I love mine. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like a 12-year-old. I'm so excited. I've never had nail art before. I've only ever just like had colors, or like I'll do like an ombre or a sparkle, but I wanted to get Gilmore Girls nail art because in our Patreon group chat, the girlies were showing us that they had gotten stamps collection, the summer stamps collection specifically, on their nails. And I was like, oh my gosh, why have I never thought to put our merch on my nails before?
Yeah.
And so I did a little bit of it, which you can see here. Got like, this one's my favorite. It's the pinkies, because when you put them together, it says La La. But it got little dragonfly. I put the Gilmore Girls book on there. Ace, of course. The coffee.
The coffee with a little lip stain on it.
She nailed the lip stain too.
She did such a good job.
Such a good job. It's Rosie. Her Instagram handle is Rosie's Nail Work, like work, WERK. She's in north of Atlanta. If any of you want to go get Gilmore Girls nails from her. She had never seen Gilmore Girls before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, she did a great job.
She did a great job. She used Emily Kelly's design, because maybe there's another stamps collection coming out.
Could be.
For the fall.
Knows? Stay tuned for that in the next episode.
And so perhaps she based some of it off of that. Mm-hmm. But I'm so excited. When she was doing it, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm 14. I've never had nail art before.
Truly, I've never had nail art either. If ever I've gotten my nails done, it's all been very like, one color. I don't even think I've gotten an ombre done, but like I'm usually plain Jane when it comes to my nails.
Yeah.
I saw these nails and I was like, ooh, cute.
I love them. If you want to see them, I posted them on my Instagram, obviously, but they're so cute.
They're so
obsessed.
Cute. I love them.
I feel like that's the only way I could go into Gilmore Girls fall.
Truly.
Was with fall nails. And I couldn't just do orange this year. It's the 25th anniversary.
No, it's very special for their birthday. It's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out the Rewatch Club. We're excited. Clearly, we're getting in the spirit in various ways.
In the spirit.
And we can't wait, because we love our Patreon members. We love talking to y'all, and we want us to keep the party going. So
yeah,
as Leo would say, let's keep these good vibes going.
Let's keep these la-las going.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of la-las, let's talk about the Town Troubadour.
Let's talk about the Town Troubadour.
I have been so excited for this episode today.
I know. Actually, Tara has been talking about this episode since we interviewed Grant-Lee, which was back in July.
Yeah.
We had this episode and she goes, wait, should we have an episode about the Town Troubadour? And I was like, actually, we just recorded one. What are you talking about? And she goes, no, we have to talk about the Town Troubadour.
Talk about him. And I will talk about that more as we get into the episode, because like there was a moment for me, speaking of Patreon, where I was like, we have to talk to him, and also we have to talk about this character.
Yeah.
We have to.
We have to.
But you were going to say something about your t-shirt.
I actually wore my Bleachers t-shirt because I think that Jack Antonoff would be a good Town Troubadour.
I also love that it's giving like diner vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. It literally says New Jersey, take the sadness out of Saturday night in a little New Jersey diner.
Very cute.
But I did think that he would be a good town troubadour in my life.
Yeah.
He'd be your town troubadour in your life.
I want to know who everybody's town troubadour is in their life. And I think we talked about this a little bit in our Lala's Strums and Troubadours episode back in 2022.
Because we had a music episode.
We did.
And we briefly talked on the town troubadour, but not like we will today.
Not in the deep dive way that we want to today. So today we are going to go through all of the episodes that the town troubadour is in, how he's featured, what songs he sings. We're going to go in chronological order, and then we are going to talk about, we're going to give out some superlatives.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited
Gilmore to say Grammys.
Yes, exactly. Gilmore to say Grammys, if you will.
The Granties?
Yeah, I was like, when you first said that, I was like, how can I finagle that to be Grant-Lee Phillips coded, the Granties? Anyway, so the town troubadour in Gilmore Girls is a very pivotal character. One that honestly, until we were really dissecting the show on Patreon, I didn't come to fully appreciate what he offers to the narrative, because he offers a lot. We did talk about it in our interview on Tuesday with Grant, but he's only in 20 episodes total over the course of the entire series. That includes A Year in the Life. 19 episodes in the original series and 1 in A Year in the Life. So we kick that off in that Damn Donna Reed, which is season 1, episode 14. And he debuts with one of his songs, Sunday Best, when the bus comes around the corner and Dean's waiting for Rory and she has her chick.
Yeah.
Stella, famously. And the lyrics are, I'm over the moon for you. And it's very subtle. He's in the background. He's leaned against a lamppost. He's strumming along. He's just kind of singing. You can kind of make out what he's saying. You're not like too focused on him, but they really shine a light on him when he crosses at the end of the episode, when Lorelai and Luke are pulling the paint cans out of his truck and he's singing Beautiful Dreamers. And like, they are following him. He is leading us into the scene with Lorelai and Luke. And that really sets us up for how he's going to be implemented into the story. Not entirely, because it really grows as the series progresses, but he is the person that kind of acts as a transitional fixture in pivoting us from scene to scene in a lot of the ways that he's used.
Because when there's not a Lala, there's usually like a little troubadour guiding us through. But the thing that's fun about him, because I mean, of course, with the Lalas, which we talked about in the music episode, is like the various versions of them are kind of leading our emotions into what kind of scene we're having, whether it's rather intense or sad or joyful. But he's like connecting everyone in this very interesting way. And something that I didn't realize until I was like going through all of the songs, everything that he sings in every episode, a majority of them are his songs.
Yes.
Because like, I think if you had asked me before I went through all of them, I'd been like, oh, it's a mix of his songs and other songs. But predominantly it's
predominantly
his
work. Yeah, but there are a lot of covers mixed in.
Yeah.
Which admittedly I thought, with the exception of Be True to Your School, which happens in Secrets and Loans, I thought all of it was his music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I, opposite from you, was like, oh, it's all him except for that one Beach Boy song. And then as we went through and I really combed through and like searched the lyrics and who they belonged to, I was like, oh, this is a cover. So that was a really fascinating task. But speaking to the emotional journey of the music in Gilmore Girls, as we spoke to with the Lalas, the difference between the Lalas, which are notoriously La and La, those are the lyrics. The Town Troubadours songs do have, in a lot of instances, his lyrics have a lot to do with what's going on in the song.
Yeah.
Or in the scene, rather. And so, and like kind of the tonal shift of everything. So Beautiful Dreamers, I didn't really feel that was necessarily meant to be like, oh, the lyrics are supposed to mean something really deep for this transition. But as we continue through the series, it does. And we talked about that a little bit with him on Tuesday, about how each song started to be like curated and crafted to the scene itself, which I really love. And
me too.
One of the ways that I think that that's best implemented is in Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Strangers, which is the next time we see him. Season 1, episode 16. So 2 episodes later, he sings Mockingbirds, which is one of his songs from 1994. And it's a transition between Rory and Dean breaking up famously in the junkyard and ushering us into the Firelight Festival. And the scene that he's ushering us into is, of course, everybody all in love. Everybody's looking at the fire. Suki and Jackson are talking about that one time that she roasted red peppers and singed off her eyebrows. And then it really has us landing with Luke and Rachel. And then when Rachel gets up and walks away, Lorelai comes and sits down. So it's really juxtaposing, like within the scene, within the narrative, the energy shift from Rachel and Luke versus Lorelai and Luke. And the lyrics are, devastation at last, finally we meet. And after all of these years out here in the street, I had a feeling you would make yourself known. You came along just to claim your place on the throne. Now I have been overthrown. Which I think, beautiful lyrics, but I don't know if this was intentional, but the way that I saw those lyrics being woven into the scene is that, like, just as Lorelai and Luke, which in that Damn Donna Reed, you kind of see it. The town troubadour comes in while they're unloading these paint cans for this painting date they're about to have. They had almost had this, well, they had a moment, but they almost had maybe perhaps a kiss, like towards the middle of that Damn Donna Reed when she's over there picking the paint colors with him. And they're kind of setting us up to believe that they're going to have this painting date. It gets derailed by Christopher. And then in Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Strangers, any connection between the two of them gets derailed by Rachel's return. And so this idea of, like, I'd been devastated and now you and I finally meet. We've been here all these years in this street and now we're here, and here you come along to overthrow all of this. And like that's what Rachel's done. She's kind of upended everything. And so I don't know if that was the intention, but I loved connecting those lyrics to the scene.
No, I felt the same. Like, I think that was like one of the first ones where it felt like it was fitting into the scene. The one earlier in the episode, Heavenly, I felt thematically fit. Maybe not directly into the moment that it's in, but it's that same thing of like star-crossed. Like, I feel like it's introducing the idea of him being reflective of the mood and the tone and the theme in the episode. But I feel like when we get to Mockingbirds, that's when it's like, ooh, we are reflecting the moment that this is in.
Totally. And I love it.
I loved that one. That one was one of my top ones.
Me too. I put it in there as well. The third episode he's in is appropriately named The Third Lorelai. And he sings a song called It's the Life from the same album as Mockingbirds, as a transition between Lorelai looking at Rory as she's sleeping to maybe tell her about the money from Trix, and the next day when she's talking to Suki about it. And the lyrics are, if the life you have created has buried you with luxuries outdated, and you ask what is the purpose, too weak to claw your way up to the surface. I just thought the luxuries part of it was like, ooh, because that's kind of the whole theme of the episode, is that like you've got the luxurious life of Trix and Emily and Richard, and Trix being like, hey, I have all this money and I can give Rory access to her trust fund because, you know, money is clearly exchanged hands here and maybe it would be easier. And Emily's the one being like, nope, you're going to lose her if she gets that money. And how luxury and the idea of money can really shift relationships. And it has in the series.
Oh, it's one of the biggest themes.
Totally. So I really liked that. The fourth is Love Daisies and Troubadours, and it's the first time we hear the town troubadour speak.
Yeah, I guess up until this point, we'd only ever heard him sing.
Yeah.
But this is like when he breaks out onto the scene. This is his star. This is like his starring moment.
It's true. And we talked about this a lot in his interview. So he sings Honey Don't Think, also from 1994, after Rory and Lane are talking about Dean and whether or not he's met someone else. We also just watched that for the Rewatch Club.
Don't think about it too long.
Don't think about it too long. Yeah. And then he shows up after Lorelai and Rachel have this conversation about Luke being kind of evasive. And the lyrics are, shake off the sadness soot. It's doing me good. But then the second town troubadour enters.
Yeah, he does.
And it's whistling. Like, oh, whistling along. So we see him at the town meeting. He has his big scene. And this is where I wrote down his guitar case says Grant-Lee duct tape.
I love that. That was like when I noticed that when we were watching it in the Rewatch Club. I had never seen it before. Yeah. That like it says Grant-Lee. I'm like, that's your name.
Yeah.
Where's the mystique? It's on your case.
It's right there. Little Easter egg for all of us.
One of my favorite lines is, you're supposed to speak through your music.
Yeah. And
just the way he delivers it.
Does he?
Perfect. Yeah. And he's dubbed the town troubadour.
Yes,
there can only be one, and he wins.
He wins.
I just loved hearing him talk in the interview about how he just like gave it his all in the first take. not realizing he was going to have to do it for like 18 more hours.
So much longer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Hilarious.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of that episode, if honestly, there's so many favorite parts of that episode. Such a good episode.
Such a good episode.
Is for the third and final song of it when he's singing Everybody Needs a Little Sanctuary, and the second town troubadour wanders up beside him, and they have a little moment of collaboration, and he whistles along as he sings.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
That's one of my favorite moments too. The next time we see him in season 2 is in presenting Lorelai Gilmore. And this is one of the funnier ones for me because Lorelai and Chris are having this moment in the street, and it's when Chris tells her about Sherry. And they're having like,
why are we bringing up Chris so much in this episode?
I don't know.
God.
But Chris is there and they're chatting, and Lorelai doesn't quite know yet that he has a girlfriend, and he tells her, and they kind of have, this is a very pivotal moment for their relationship because it's the first time that Chris has really taken a relationship seriously, and Lorelai's a little devastated and trying not to show it, that he has really gotten his act together seemingly for another woman.
Seemingly.
And it's, you know, they kind of part ways, and then the camera turns and there he is. He's just right there. I was like, oh, jump scare. He's singing La-Las. Not like the La-Las, but he's singing La-Las.
It's called Jubilee is the
Jubilee.
song.
Yeah.
And
I just love that it's La-Las.
But it's just La-Las. And there's not another moment where he is singing just La-Las. And I want to know when that song came out, because like I wonder if there's like some sort of like association with it, with Gilmore Girls. But there's not another moment where he's offering us the Gilmore Girls La-Las, but these are the Troubadour La-Las.
These are the Troubadour La-Las.
But it's almost that feeling of like what can be said, like almost like blank brain, like you're just having to la your way through it.
Yeah. I wonder if they did have a song where the lyrics kind of could speak to Lorelai's inner monologue, because it says a lot without saying a lot.
Yeah.
But if he had a set of lyrics that really spoke to that, maybe they would have put it in there, but they were just like, hey, these La-Las, this sounds great.
Yeah. No, it's from 1998. So it predates. It's a Grant-Lee Buffalo song. Not just because I know that there's like a mix of like Grant-Lee Phillips and Grant-Lee Buffalo songs throughout, but it's ultimately Grant-Lee.
So then in the Ins and Outs of Ins, season 2, episode 8, he sings after Mia and Lorelai talk about Lorelai wanting to open her own inn and Mia wanting to sell the Independence Inn. Yeah. And the lyrics are, nothing is for sure as I begin my day. And that's the only thing that he sings. And I will like never get that out of my head. When I hear that nothing is for sure, I always think of this moment. Because it is speaking to her inner monologue, because she's sad. She's devastated that Mia wants to sell the Independence Inn. That's home for her. Yeah. And she's just kind of trying to like grin and bear it and not let on that she's sad. But he sings it for her.
Yeah, that nothing is for sure.
Yeah.
And like looking back on that episode, I'm so excited to get to it in the Rewatch Club, because it's like that moment when Lorelai's like shoved out of the tree is like the baby bird.
Yeah, baby
who's
bird
outgrown
shoved
the
out
nest. To go for her own dreams, but nothing is for sure. You just jump, as Luke says at the end.
You just jump. So the next one is Secrets and Loans, season 2, episode 11, famously one of our favorite episodes. And he sings a cover.
I can't wait to see if it's true in Rewatch Club.
No plot, just vibes. And
just vibes.
I love this, and I spoke to this in our episode on Tuesday. I love that he does a cover of Be True to Your School by the Beach Boys.
I love the Beach Boys. Would they be a fun town troubadours?
Honestly, I love like this idea of him covering it like acoustically. I think that my life would be a blend of like Sex and the City music and this like acoustic covers.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say the Beach Boys.
And the Beach Boys.
Sex and the City and the Beach Boys. Very similar vibes.
Specific.
Yeah.
But I love that this is kind of surrounding the idea of high school activities, her cheerleader life, be true to your school. And it is the transition between her doing her cheerleader routine and then Roy meeting her, being like, hey, I don't really understand this, but I support you.
Which is maybe being true
to your friends.
To your friends.
Yeah.
But we do call Secrets and Loans a no plot, just vibe. And him singing this is part of that vibe.
Yeah.
Like he definitely, that I feel like in an episode that is maybe not just vibes. That one is just vibes, no plot.
For
but
sure.
in other episodes that does have plot and vibes, I feel like usually when he's there, it's like he adds to the like overall feeling of Stars Hollow, the aesthetic. Like it's just, I feel like Stars Hollow would be hollow without him.
Without him, it's
Especially
true.
in that one.
And then the last episode he does in season 2 is Dead Uncles and Vegetables. And he is strumming along as the girlies walk through town after learning that Luke's uncle passed. And he sings a cover of Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham. And we talked about this in the episode on Tuesday because I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of like, is this about death? Like, wake me up before you go?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh. Maybe.
Wait, if we can give superlatives to the most confusing edition, it's this one.
It is this one.
He's just singing. Maybe they just loved Wham.
Maybe they did. And honestly, I understand.
What a fun song. What an interesting song, though, to sing after you learn that someone's uncle has died.
Yes. That's why I thought maybe it was about, you know,
Death?
waking you up before you die. Die. Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Don't leave me hanging on like a...
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same way. But this is also the episode where we kind of get this really interesting full circle moment at the town meeting because famously the second town troubadour comes back as a second vegetable seller and Taylor...
a vegetable seller.
Yeah.
A farmer's market.
A farmer's market. And Taylor is very upset.
Mad,
big mad. And so he's turning to the town troubadour to help him out. And he's like, hey, you left me twisting for a long time before you gave me my rights as a town troubadour. I even wrote a song about it. And Lorelai's like, yeah, it's called Taylor Left Me Twisting. And he sings a little bit of it. And I love it. Taylor left me twisting. He said my eyes misting. It's just, he's like, but, can't quite find the hook.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the moments when they like pull him into the town because there's like few and far between. There's really only like 3 main ones, but that being one of them, I just love that they consider him a part of them and no one knows his name.
No.
Except it's on his guitar.
It's on his guitar case. We know it.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving into season 3, he is in application anxiety and he sings a song called Smile at the end as the girlies are walking arm in arm through the town. And it's an episode that really hits hard for both Rory and Lorelai that like their time in this chapter of their lives is limited. It is coming to an end. She is going to go to college this year or after this year. Yeah. And it's very sentimental. And the lyrics are, smile, there's no regrets. The years wash through our hands. And then you never see tomorrow coming. You only feel the wake of it. And then it kind of launches us in. He sings it acoustically and it launches us into the fully produced version of the song, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I like when they do that.
The camera pans up. So I thought that was a really beautiful and sentimental moment.
Yeah, especially after this whole episode being about anxiety.
Yes.
Relating to applications.
Yes.
And the future in various ways for Lorelai and Rory. And to end it with this sentiment that just smile.
Yeah.
The years ahead.
Yeah.
They will come, which we always knew they would.
Yeah, it's true. And then we see him at the end of season 3 in Those Are Strings, Pinocchio, the finale, where he opens the episode with a cover of Peace Train by Cat Stevens. He's like, whoa, oh, oh, oh. And the girlies come by and kind of like disrupt him as he's singing with their backpacks on.
Yeah, he's just at peace, isn't he?
He is.
And they come in like a different kind of chaos train.
Yeah, it's true. They come in like a completely different train. The next episode that he's in, I love. It's in season 4. It's the Festival of Living Art, season 4, episode 7, because he doesn't sing. He's just an actor in this. And this is, of course, when they're doing the Festival of Living Art.
As is the title.
And actually, I think they call it the Festival of Living Pictures. And he is playing Judas in The Last Supper. And famously, Kirk is Jesus and he hates him.
That's like the best part is like no one refers to him by name.
No.
Because like he knows Kirk, he knows Andrew, like they know everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
But like no one is referring to him by his name. They're calling him Judas.
The next episode that he's in is season 4, episode 13. Nagamati is where they found the Gnostic Gospels. And I love
Love this one.
This is when he sings probably one of his most notable songs from Gilmore Girls, which is Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this song, and he sings it with a band for the Firelight Festival, which I love because he was, of course, performing at the Firelight Festival in Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Strangers.
Yeah.
And I almost called it Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Reasons to Hate Dean Forrester. And
That's our curse, really. That's what happens when you name your first episode after a very long title.
yeah, it's true. And the lyrics are, "You're the last of your kind, Mona Lisa, with the wink of your eye, make it all right. Oh, there's more left to life, Mona Lisa, let me take you along." And it plays behind Liz and TJ, and then Liz and Luke, and then Lorelai and Luke, and then eventually leads us to the scene between Jess and Rory, where he's chasing her through the street.
When she is like a fantastic runner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you learn to run like that?
Yeah, it's very interesting, all the different things that are going on in this episode. Liz is in a stable relationship. She's not quite the flighty, flippy-dippy lady that she was billed as for the first 3 seasons. She is, but she's not
In her own
that extreme.
healed way, yeah.
Yeah, and she's found TJ.
Thank God. Thank
God,
God.
Thank God. I know. She and Luke have kind of come to a really nice resolution. She apologizes for not telling him about being in contact with Jess. Jess, of course, has come to get his car back, and it sparks, a lot of controversy in the town and with Rory. Lorelai and Luke eventually have a conversation, and this is, of course, kind of propelling us towards the two of them getting together at the end of the season. And then, to usher us into the scene with Jess, who we haven't seen since the end of season 3 when he famously broke all of our hearts. I really love that the lyrics of this is like, "You're the last of your kind, Mona Lisa." And that's really how they treat Rory. They really treat Rory like the Mona Lisa. Like, she is one of a kind. There is no one like her. She is the angel on top of a Christmas tree.
Truly, yeah. And the reason I like this one so much, it's the only one where he is accompanied. I don't remember a time when it's anyone playing with him other than just him on his guitar, except for the second town troubadour who comes along and just whistles with him.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actual other instruments are being played alongside him.
Yeah, totally. And it's just really beautiful. It is one of my
so
favorites.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then he sings a song called "Lilia Passion," which is a very recent song for the zeitgeist of Gilmore Girls. It's in 2004. This is in Raincoats and Recipes, the season 4 finale. And it's a transition after Rory and Lane talk about Dean and Jess and everything that transpired. Yeah. And to Rory walking to Luke's to meet Lorelai. And she actually says hi to him as she passes. This is when he's playing, especially in moments like presenting Lorelai Gilmore, it's kind of like he's not there. But this is a moment where she waves at him and she acknowledges him "Hey, how you doing?" as she passes.
That is so funny because I guess that really is one of the only times that, except for when they're talking to him, he's a part of a scene. He's in the town meeting, Festival of Living Art, later on in another episode. They don't really acknowledge him. He kind of just plays along because thinking of Rory waving at him in that instance, going back to presenting Lorelai Gilmore when Lorelai is going through a moment, if that man turned around and started playing that upbeat song, I'd be, can you not? Okay, can you play something slower?
It was such a jump
secret
scare.
Bar in the revival when Michelle's like, "Can you play something upbeat?"
Yeah.
That's much better.
Truly. And then the only time we see him in season 5 is in the season 5 finale. So we go from one finale to the next. And not to bury the lead, but this was the moment for me on Patreon where I was we need to talk to this man and we need to do an entire episode, because this for me is the pinnacle of the town troubadour's purpose and use within the narrative of Gilmore Girls. Yeah. So in season 5, episode 22, "A House Is Not a Home," he sings a cover of a song called "Mama Tried" by Merle Haggard. And it's the morning after Rory's arrest. The lyrics are, "I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried, Mama tried, Mama tried to raise me better, but her pleading I denied. That leaves only me to blame, 'cause Mama tried." And it is such a foreshadowing moment to what we are about to get between Lorelai and Rory. We are about to get an explosion between these two, a rift like we've never seen before. And Lorelai tried. She really did. She's like, "I tried to raise you differently than this life that you've been running towards with Logan, with the Gilmores." And she runs full force ahead by the end of this episode and ends up living with the Gilmores. Yeah. It's so beautiful. I loved this moment so much. I talked about this on Tuesday. I just love it. It's so, and this was the aha moment for me, as you remember on Patreon, where I was like, this is poetry. We need to talk to this man. We need to do a whole episode about this.
But what's interesting about this song in this episode is that this really is a mother-daughter episode because it's not just Rory and Lorelai. It is mostly them because Gilmore Girls, but it's also Lane and her mom because it's like her mama tried to raise her better, but her pleading I denied, and she wanted to go into music. And the difference there is that Mrs. Kim ultimately gave into that and helped her. So like their outcome was very different than Rory and Lorelai's.
I loved that you brought that up when we were covering this episode about it also being about Lane and her mom, because it juxtaposes these two mother-daughter relationships, which have been, juxtaposed against each other the entire series, but in a very different way.
Yeah. And now it's like they're getting the outcome that the other one used to get. But I would even say it's about Lorelai and her mom. Because like mama tried to raise me better, and in that place Rory is now filling it. And I think that one is like probably the most layered of all of them, and I really love it. He also does it so well. As I told him on the episode, so many of these songs, like I just love his version of them.
Me too.
When I was younger, I didn't know who Paul Simon was. So he sang that one for me.
When
I heard Paul Simon sing it, I was like, this is the Troubadour song.
This is the Troubadour
song. What are you talking about?
So real. So then moving into season 6, episode 1, the new and improved Lorelai. We talked about this in the episode on Tuesday, but the town troubadour sings a song called Pre-Owned Heart that is an original song and was never released. But he sings it after Luke tells Patty and Babette that Lorelai proposed, and Lorelai is kind of walking through the town square and he's standing up against the gazebo, and there are a couple people who are watching him, and the lyrics are interesting. Making you an offer still runs great, looking for a brand new start, a special one-time deal on a pre-owned heart. Very interesting.
That's both Luke and Lorelai.
I agree.
Both pre-owned hearts. Also, Luke's about to buy a pre-owned engagement ring.
That is true. That is very true.
Many layers to that one. I do wish he had recorded it because I just really like that song. It's just like such a fun concept. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's from that moment that I always wanted it to be a full song available to listen.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't want to prompt it, but I would love to have a Gilmore Girls anniversary Town Troubadour album.
I know.
Of all the songs he played, covered, songs he wanted to cover, songs that fit.
Oh,
maybe his cover of Where You Lead would be really good.
Oh, that'd be great.
There She Goes. I don't know, just so many of them
would be
My
really
Corner
good.
of the World, all of the songs.
Oh, that'd
but
be
a Grant-Lee
great.
Phillips version.
Had he not been coming out with his album last week,
I know.
we probably would have been able to coerce him. I don't know. Maybe that's speaking too highly of our abilities, but he's got a lot going on.
But he's going to be in the documentary.
Yeah.
Because I realized he was asking us very pointed questions about, you guys been hearing things? And I was like, I don't even know what this man's talking about.
Yeah.
But when it came out that he was involved in that, I was like,
oh, that's probably what he means.
This is what he was trying to see if we knew what was going on.
Yeah,
but I'm
totally.
really excited to hear from him.
Me too.
In that documentary.
So then the Town Troubadour is in the last 3 episodes of season 6. Super Cool Party People season 6 episode 20. He does a cover of 40 Years by House of Freaks. A million hearts, a million minds have lived and died in 40 years. Pray for yourself and your memories and be thankful. We've had 40 years. And this is when people start to notice him because they're starting to build this storyline towards Partings, where he is going to be going on tour and opening for Neil Young because someone noticed him in the town. So people are starting to notice him in town, and you can tell that the extras were also
directed to notice him and stop traffic. That one girl who walks up and pauses, she puts her hands in her pocket and kind of leans back into it. There's a very particular little moment that she does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she is the star. She is the main character of this moment.
Yeah.
Before she moves along. But I just think that this is such an interesting build up to not only his storyline that we're getting in Partings over the next couple of episodes, but also to Luke and Lorelai. Because especially that in the next episode, it's kind of feels like a juxtaposition against her and her parents, because her mom is of course buying her the house, and that's why they've been in town. There's also the whole thing with Anna, where Anna says that like engaged isn't married, that it feels like she's kind of comparing herself to other people and her parents who've been married for 40 years. But I really love that one. That's one of my faves.
I also know the next one is one of your faves because in Driving Miss Gilmore, season 6, episode 21, he does a cover of Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard by Paul Simon.
Yeah. And I just like it's a fun little moment that I love when he does his own songs, but that one is just like it feels like the same one as the Beach Boys. Like he just adds his own little something to it.
Yeah, totally.
I want them all on a CD. I'd buy a CD. I'd buy a vinyl of that.
Yeah. Oh, I'd so buy a vinyl of that. Yeah. But one of my favorite uses of the town troubadour is when the town troubadour leaves and a ton of town troubadours flood Stars Hollow in famously your favorite episode, Partings. And this is
Partings.
Like compared up against Love Daisies and Troubadours, this is also like one of the ultimate town troubadour episodes because it's a masterpiece in troubadour cameos. There are so many town troubs, and we go through it in our episode Partings, which we did air publicly. If you guys want to listen to our full breakdown, we aired that a few months ago, back in I think the spring, and in February. And so there are a lot of people, but my favorite cameo, aside from A Beaver Ate My Thumb,
I was gonna say
Dan
is it
Palladino.
that one?
I love that one. I watched it today. A beaver ate my thumb.
It's just like there's something about his like commitment to that, like the wow. I'm like honestly, like we keep saying lately of like manifesting when we have the Palladinos on, of all the questions we would ask them, I want to be like, Dan, can you do that again?
Can you do it
again?
Can
you do that?
Please
can you do that? Wow.
It was
we'll start it off for you.
Yeah.
It was so
good. But my favorite use is arguably to maybe tie it back to the jump scare moment in Presenting Lorelai Gilmore when Grant-Lee sings a La version of his song Jubilee. We get Sam Phillips here playing the role of the town troubadour, and there's something so powerful about that. So this is a song called Taking Pictures by Sam Phillips.
Okay.
And the lyrics are, when I take a picture of the city, it disappears. It's only a photograph. The city is gone. The places I go are never there. Nostalgia isn't what it used to be. I can only picture the disappearing world when you touch me. And then it fades off, and it is transitioning us out of this moment with Lorelai and Luke in the street. Famously, they're fighting. She gives him the ultimatum. He says, I don't do ultimatums. And she's like, I gotta go. So this is her walking away from Luke and ushering us into her knocking on the door at Christopher's place. Now, the fascinating part of this, which I do not think was intentional, is that the next lyric in this song is, he brought me the air of Paris in a bottle.
Definitely not intentional.
Not intentional, but ooh.
It's for me, it's I can only picture the disappearing world when you touch me. That there's like this leading us into Chris of like she's going there and her world is disappearing as she knows it, and it's sad. But
it's really sad. But I love that she's the one standing there because the troubadour does make an appearance. Grant-Lee makes an appearance. It's only by dialogue. He doesn't sing.
Yeah, it's the same as the Festival of Living Art.
But he comes in, he's like,
he appears and doesn't
Taylor,
sing.
How could you let this happen? And Taylor's like, this is your fault.
You had to go off and make it in the big time. I made $700 and got booed.
Yeah.
Really young, heart of gold my ass.
Bummer summer for Grant-Lee Phillips, for the town troubadour.
Yeah, the town troubadour. Great for Grant-Lee. He did a great job in that.
He did a great job. But I love that Sam Phillips, in this final episode written by the Palladinos, she is the town troubadour. Yeah. Because she really is in a lot of ways. She, of course, if you don't know who Sam Phillips is,
You do. She sings the La-Las.
She sings the La-Las. She sings I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye to You. She sings Reflecting Light. She sings so many.
Where the Colors Don't
Go. I mean, like, she is Gilmore Girls. And so to have her here as the town troubadour playing live with her violinist in the background, peak. It stands in a category all on its own because it's so poetic that she is basically replacing the town troubadour.
I feel like musically, this is one of the most important episodes in the show because it is like a reflection on reflecting light, reflecting music, on the Palladino's taste, what was important to them, because Sam Phillips feels the most important to the show, but like the Troubadour is what's so important to the show too. So like to blend those together, because we've got Sparks, we've got Yolo Tango, who sings My Little Corner of the World, Sonic Youth, Dan Palladino, Second Town Troubadour. We've got the I Stepped Into a Puddle, I'm Beating from the Lip, who I can only ever see her from Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde.
Oh, I mean, I see her from a film by Kirk.
Well, she is in a film by Kirk, of course. But I think that to have Sam Phillips there, I'm like, oh, Chef's Kiss, Palladino's, like nailed it. Yeah, so this is good. A Town Troubadour episode, but if we could call Sam Phillips a Town Troubadour for just a moment, because she is guiding us musically throughout the show in the La-Las.
100%.
Which, it wasn't until the La-Las came up on Hatch. They're not there for much longer as this episode airs, but it is called La-La Song Waltz Number 1. I had never known that they had designations or different songs, but it's to call it the waltz. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had songs.
Yeah,
I didn't know
totally.
they have names.
Totally.
But now I want to know the names of all the other ones.
Yeah,
Is there La Song Waltz Number 2?
Well, it feels like it was derivative from How to Dream. Like all of it was derived from How to Dream by Sam Phillips. And so, yeah, I'd love to know how they started to differentiate them.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But honestly, like Partings and the use of the Town Troubadours stands in a category all on its own. Troubadour? Yeah. And it's fascinating because with Grant-Lee, again, he appears in the episode, but not to sing for us. And
he's furious that his town has been overrun.
Yeah, this is my turf. But we do see him one time in season 7. He is in Hey Belle May's season 7, episode 18. And it's kind of random that we get him because we haven't gotten him the whole season and we will not see him for the rest of the series. But at the end of the episode, as Lorelai and Luke kind of make amends in the midst of the Hey Belle May's, Grant-Lee walks by them and the camera zooms out and he sings Raising the Spirit, which was a 2007 song. So it was a very current song for the use of it. Because a lot of Grant-Lee's songs were either Grant-Lee Buffalo songs or things that he had done in the past, like in the 90s for season 1. So to see like current things showing up was really cool.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are nothing.
Or was it very season 7?
Well, they do it in Raincoats and Recipes. Lily of Passion was a 2004 song. Mona Lisa was a 2004 song for Nagamati. So like they start to get more current. And so it's nice that they're adding something in of his, that they're implementing him in a current way. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it was rude of me to insult season 7. Other seasons are doing it. I get it.
But the lyrics are, nothing's going to break your heart today. Nothing's going to steal your light away, even when the skies are turning gray. So it's okay. I wish that they had been a little more clever. I wish that they had injected him into season 7 a little bit more because I think that we would have felt more at home. But
he creates part of the vibe.
He really does.
He wasn't there. I mean, to be fair, he wasn't in 5. Like he wasn't there until the finale. But I don't think it entirely lost its vibe. But season 7 was lacking in vibes. So what are you going to do? Inject the Troubadour.
Truly.
And they didn't really.
No. And they only had him as a cameo once. We talked about this in Tuesday's episode, in one cameo for A Year in the Life. But I loved what they did. He performed a song called Winter Glow, and he talks about that in the episode, and it was in winter.
No, he played a couple songs in winter.
Oh, he did?
He plays
I
Winter
thought he
Song
just did
or Winter
Glow.
Glow. No, he did Winter Glow, and which is a song that I love. We did talk about that in the episode. And then a little bit later in that episode, we see a new town troubadour who is a town troubadour lady.
Oh,
and she gets run off the scene by the troubadour. And we find out that that is his sister. But in reality, in real life, that is Carole King's daughter, Lise Goffin, who she sings the theme song Where You Lead I Will Follow with.
Yeah.
Which is just a nice
I forgot about that
cameo.
moment.
And then he sings one other song later on at the end when Luke and Lorelai meet up in town before Emily calls. And I remember this simply because he plays a song called Valley Winter Song by Fountains of Wayne.
Oh.
And I remember talking about this. No, I remember we talked about this in our recap because you were like, Fountains of Wayne. And I was like, Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom. You're so right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I played it.
Blocked that out of my memory.
No, I played like 2 seconds of it because I was like, I don't want to get copyrighted.
Hilarious. I completely blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah. It's literally at the very end of the episode. So it's like but it is not his song. The only song of his that he plays in Winter
Glow.
Is Winter Glow.
Which is really beautiful and just puts you in the mood.
I know. I actually started making a holiday playlist already. Oh my gosh. I know. Fall hasn't even really truly started and I'm already working on Christmas. And that was the first song I added because I was like, oh, it's just a lovely winter glow. Like, I feel like that is the perfect song for winter in Stars Hollow because that song plays as we see the Lorelai's house all dressed up for the holidays for the first time. And to have that playing, it just feels so perfect and sweet. And I love it.
I know. I love it.
I do wish we would have seen him in fall.
Me too.
I kind of wish he would have been playing at the wedding and Lorelai and Luke's maybe dream wedding. I'm not really sure. It felt like a dream.
Yeah.
I would have loved for him to be playing or to be a part of the musical or audition or something.
Sure. Oh, that would have been really cool, especially to see him and Carole King in the same room.
I would have loved that. I would have loved for him to like audition with Sutton or something like that. Them go with Christian Borle.
Hilarious.
I would have loved him to be more involved with that.
Yeah.
It would have made sense because music. Or like, wouldn't Taylor pull in the only guy he knows with a guitar?
That's true. That would make the most sense. But yeah, those are all of the Town Troubadour sightings and the songs he sings, the lyrics he adds to the narrative. And I'm curious, we wanted to give out a couple of superlatives. What is your favorite song that he sings in this entire arsenal of work?
Hard to choose. But I think that my top fave song that he sings is Mona Lisa.
Me too. That's what I said.
Good. It's so iconic. Good. Like, it fits the moment so well. It's just such a good song. It's probably my favorite song of his. Like, you can't make a Stars Hollow playlist without adding Mona Lisa.
That's so true. Oh, actually, before we proceed, I did want to mention that before we actually meet him, Grant-Lee's Buffalo song, Truly, Truly, is in Cinnamon's wake. So, when like Dean and Rory, when he like apologizes to her, like, I'll leave you alone. And she's like,
I'm gonna stop bothering you.
Yeah.
No, I like you.
Truly, Truly plays in the background. Because I was like, where's Truly, Truly in this? Because I remember it being in there. But it's because we've not met him yet. It plays in the background. So
maybe he's playing in the background and we just can't see him.
Maybe he's in the bushes.
Or they're kind of in the bushes.
Everybody's in the bushes.
This whole show takes place in the bushes.
But for me, Mona Lisa for sure.
Good.
It's so good. But my favorite song that fits into the scene and the narrative is Mama Tried.
Yeah, like when I was going through these, because those were kind of the two superlatives that we have. I was like, Tara and I are gonna have to say
we're only giving out 2 Grant-Lee awards.
The Grant-Lee awards. Though my runner-up for fave was 40 Years, because I just love that. Like, I can like hear the sound effects going on.
The favorite song he sings, or as it fits into the narrative.
Favorite song he sings.
Okay,
like if I could pick a cover versus an original. The original is Mona Lisa. The cover is 40 Years. But the favorite, as it fits into the narrative, also a cover, is Mama Tried. Because it just fits so perfect.
Absolutely. And I think that my favorite cover he does is Be True to Your School.
Yeah, of course. I knew that would be yours. I could have guessed all of yours. I could have made a list for both of us.
I know. But I wanted to mention Partings as like kind of a standalone because Sam Phillips stepping into the shoes of the Town Troubadour for me is very special, but it is different than like the parameters we put on faves for Town Troubadour moments, because he is the Town Troubadour as established at the end of season 1.
Yeah, there can only be one. It's his turf.
But she does such a great job stepping into those. I just think it's so poetic and so beautiful.
It's a beautiful moment
that I can't not mention it.
Tara, if I could have done this for me and for you, I would have said both of our favorites going to be mostly Mona Lisa. Both of our favorite, as it's used as a narrative device, is Mama Tried. My favorite cover was going to be 40 Years. Yours was going to be True to Your School. And favorite honorable mention, I was like, Tara's is going to be Sam Phillips, alternative Town Troubadour.
I will say that I do really love, like, as a as a runner-up, especially after talking about it with you today, to song as it fits into the narrative, Mockingbirds from Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Strangers. It's really, really well done. But Mama Tried is just far and beyond.
His song, a Grant-Lee song that fits best into the narrative. You can say Mockingbirds, and we'll say Merle Haggard for the cover. But that one does fit the best.
It's the best.
How do you feel about the Walmart commercial being the second Town Troubadour sitting there and not...
Oh, did we even ask him about that in our episode?
I didn't feel like it was nice.
Yeah.
Because like the second Town Troubadour is in it. He's sitting on the bench. Is he not?
He is. Yeah, he is. He's totally
Why wasn't the Town Troubadour? Did he get kicked out of town when it went corporate?
Maybe he's made it big time.
Maybe he's got his own tour. Troubadour.
Troubadour
Of every town.
Troubadour. Oh, I hope so. Because I don't know. It was a very interesting choice. But
yeah, maybe Walmart didn't want to pay for the song royalties.
Oh, but I love it. I loved going through these with you. I think the Town Troubadour is such a beautiful fixture in this show that like I don't think it's talked about necessarily enough. Like we talk about the music, but the actual use of his character is so important, and I'm glad we spent the week talking to him, talking about him. It was really fun. I love it. I love the music sets such a tone for the show, and it really does add to the nostalgic value that we put on this show. Case in point, the playlist that you're yearning for on vinyl.
I know. Wouldn't that be so good?
Yes. I
would love it. Because the other thing about going through this is like seeing him change, like seeing his wardrobe change, his hairstyle. Because like I've really thought about the show changing in terms of the girlies, of course. But to see him go through all of his looks was really fun too. Because I did that thing where I like scrub through every episode looking for him. And so getting to see him evolve was also very fun. Well, his music really just stays true to him, true to his school, the Grant-Lee Phillips School of Music.
School. I love it.
But yeah, I would be very interested to hear what y'all's favorite Town Troubadour song is, whether it's one of his songs, a cover, a song you wish that maybe he would have covered based on songs that played in the show for this vinyl that we're doing a Kickstarter for now all of a sudden. We're spreading rumors.
Yeah.
But speaking of Kickstarter, I don't think that we have had an episode air since the documentary got announced.
Yeah.
I think this is like the first episode that we're recording since that happened.
It's true.
I'm very intrigued to see where this goes.
Me too. Yeah.
Because like we've got Kelly. Yay. But all of the other key players are notably absent.
I know.
It's mostly side characters.
Yeah, I'm
featured
very
characters because we've got Dean, we've got Liz, we've got
Lane,
the Town Troubadour,
in it.
Lane,
Chad Michael Murray's in it.
Chad Michael Murray, Tristan. I'm trying to call them by their
character
names in case you don't know the actors' names.
Yeah,
but Kelly being Emily, of course. So I'm interested to see how they fill that out, whether or not they're waiting to announce bigger girls being the Gilmore girls, Rory and Lorelai, and Amy and Dan. So I'm interested to see how they will be involved. I'm very intrigued.
As am I.
But it is a Kickstarter, which is why I brought it up from my
Kickstarter.
fake Kickstarter. No real Kickstarter for this vinyl. Would love it though. We'll get in touch with Grant.
Yeah, we'll chat with him about it.
We'll chat. But yeah, so I'm very interested to see what comes with this documentary. Very interested to see the connection to the show that the people have making it, which is really important to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that could go in a bunch of different directions.
I agree.
If you're doing it because it means a lot to other people, or if you're doing it because it means a lot to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very different approaches.
I agree.
But Tara and I love a documentary.
We famously do.
Yeah.
We do.
So
it's true.
We're
So
very
excited.
invested in this one.
Yeah. I mean, not just for the content, but because of the style.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've ever done a Gilmore Girls documentary. And so I know a lot of people have been wondering, curious if they're going to do different things for the 25th anniversary, the holiday special that Lauren has proposed, a second year in the life season 2, as people have been calling for.
Another year in the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a documentary is not something that has been
No, the only documentary style things that we have are like DVD extras.
The DVD bonus features. Yeah. Which we said that we really want to do an episode about those DVD bonus features. So we should do that maybe next year.
You know, the girl Rosie who did my nails, she goes, is there still things to talk about? Does that show still air anymore? I was like, oh, girl. Boy, are there ever.
The show is not still airing, but there are still things to talk about.
More to say, if you will.
It's true. But speaking of A Year in the Life, we did, as we mentioned, come to a close with covering that, despite the fact that I completely forgot that Grant-Lee Phillips was in most of winter.
She was there, and we talked about it for a while because you were like, Fountains of Wayne. And you were like, they wrote a song called, and I was like, Stacey's mom.
No, I do remember that
She's got it going on.
Yeah. She's all that I wanted, and I waited for so long.
That's how I felt about the revival. That was all I wanted, and I waited for so long.
And we finally got to watch it the same way that we've watched all of the Gilmore Girls episodes together on Patreon. And we have a lot of thoughts.
And we'll have more to say on that in the next episode.